focus of this discussion is on ions. Okay, by this point you should have been studying the subatomic particles, protons and electrons, and so you should be familiar with the fact that these particles have a charge to them. Protons are positive, electrons are negative, and you should also be familiar with the fact that positive charges and negative charges will cancel each other out, or will result in a net charge of 0. Okay, so in our atom, what we're going to be looking at is the number of protons or positive charges that are in the atom and the number of negative charges in the atom, or electrons. And so here's kind of a general format you should be familiar with, that our positive charges are in the nucleus, in the center, and that the negative electrons are around the nucleus. And here's a key point here to emphasize, is that only, this is not going to let me write on it. Okay. Well, only the electrons can be added or taken away. So in forming ions, we are only going to be changing the number of electrons in the atom. Let's go back. Okay, so say this is our atom, 5 electrons, 5 protons. So it has a net charge of 0. All right. If this were an actual atom, it would be boron because of the 5 protons. The protons identify what the element is. The number of protons tell you what the element is. Okay, and so if we have equal number of protons and electrons, then we have a neutral atom. And typically when we're referring to an atom, that's what we mean. Protons and electrons are the same. Okay, so here, what would we have if we have now added an electron to this particular atom? Well, we would have a net charge of -1. Here we have removed some electrons to where now we have 3 electrons compared to the 5 protons in the nucleus. So our net charge here would be a +2. We have 2 more positive charges, 2 more protons than we do electrons. And again, as you'll see, we're just manipulating the electrons. This particular atom, boron, it's still boron because we still have 5 protons in the nucleus. Okay? Removing electrons, resulting charge is positive. Okay, if I'm starting with equal numbers, if I take away negative charge, then the net result is I'm going to have more positive charge left. Okay, this is called a cation. All right, if we have a positively charged ion, we refer to that as a cation. And then when we add electrons, we are adding negative charge. Okay, so our resulting ion would be negatively charged, and we call these anions. Okay, and again, remember that we are only moving electrons. In forming ions, we're only changing the number of electrons. We are not changing the number of protons. So the element, whatever element we have, it still remains that element because the protons are not changing. And again, as you'll see, as we go through chemistry, there are many things that are relevant to you that relate to ions, that relate to the fact that the atom has gained or lost electrons and now has a charge to it.